Alright guys, I just want to go over a couple plays I did today and basically what went on in the market today. As y'all probably know, it was a big red day today across the board. Pretty much all stocks were down due to the SPY being down and the E-mini futures being down. Pretty much everything was down today, which I didn't know quite for sure if it was going to be a down day in the market, but the stocks there was a couple of stocks in particular I was looking at that I thought would probably have a down day soon, so I was prepared, and I'll get to that in a second. But as you can see, SPY, it retraced back down to this, support, and it's barely holding on. You can see if you remove this drawing, it's barely holding on to the support right here at 224. Let's call it 224.50. So if it could hold on to that, then you might see it. If it could kind of hold on to this area and hold on to this 20-day moving average, we might see it, kind of consolidate sideways or maybe make its way back up to the high of this range up here and the 228s. But if it breaks this, you're probably most likely going to see it, slowly but surely maybe make its way back down here and kind of close this little, gap that you want to call where it kind of had this big day. Now, obviously nothing's for sure, but that's just, most likely what you'll see happen. Well, I think tomorrow we might have this. I don't know. It's hard to say, but this could be, the market has been on this crazy run for the past, since Trump got elected. It kind of sold off, and then it's been on this crazy run. So it was due for a good red day, but, it's kind of been selling off since here and coming sideways. I think we could have another red day tomorrow. But most likely, with the big red day like this, tomorrow you'll have like you'll probably have like an inside day that doesn't do much, and just something small, something to absorb this, this big move. So usually that's what you'll see a big, a big red day, and then kind of just, maybe a little consolidation, something like this, to where it just kind of, maybe starts off, kind of goes up, comes back down, doesn't do too much, but maybe something like this even. That's probably what we'll see tomorrow, most likely. But we could also see, I think, maybe another red day. I do think we'll probably try to fill this down to this 225, this 220 level. Call it 221, something like that. But if we could hold this, which would be great, I'd like to see that. If we could hold this level, that would be the best thing. Then we can maybe get back up to the high of this level. But also the futures were down today. Same thing with the futures. I like to look at the tick chart on a future, 512 tick. But if you look at the futures, I mean, it was just steady down the whole time. So anyways, this morning, the trade, I know I've been talking about this stock a lot, but let's get to this. This was the trade that I was looking for. This thing has been on a rampage up. Obviously, I've done videos about it. So I knew that when it had a red day, it was going to be a big red day. I had said in my other video, and I had said in the chat room, in the Discord chat, that being that it's been up so much lately, and it's so overextended, that when it did finally have, this is kind of like your final exhaustion gap. I mean, it's just been going up so much. The RSI is so overextended, and then finally it has this big day here, and you're thinking, when can it end? And then what does it do? It gaps up again, has another big day. Then what does it do again? It gaps up again, and that's just like your exhaustion gap. It just it just can't go anymore. And finally you have a big red day, and of course it was due to have a red day anyways, and then with the markets being down, the SPY and the ES being down, it was just destined to have a big red day. I mean, pretty much everything sold off today. I expected this to have a red day anyways. I didn't know if it was going to happen to I'm not going to say that I guessed it would happen today. I will tell you that I was prepared for it, and I'll get to what I played it today in a second. I was prepared. I didn't know if it was going to have another green day. It gapped up again. I didn't know if it was going to run again. Obviously, it's best not to have a bias. You just play the chart in front of you, but you do need to have a bias in some sort. And not really a bias, but you need to be prepared to what you think can happen. And I knew that this thing was just exhausted, and I knew that it was very, very good potential that it could have a red day. So this morning, I woke up. The first thing I do when I wake up is I check the futures. I check the futures. I see what they did. I want to see what they were doing overnight. I want to see what they were doing overnight. I don't think I have my. Let's see 1 second. Do I have the settings, futures, show extended hours. Okay, so I like to see what the futures were doing. Obviously, the futures were gapping up. But instantly in the morning time, first thing I was looking at was, I was looking at that. They were going up. Everything was looking good. SPY was going up. You look at SPY, it was gapping up. But even though it was gapping up, it was sort of the same idea in my head. The same idea in my head as we had with Nvidia. So I'm thinking, let's see. It was the same idea I had in my head as Nvidia, that it's been on this crazy run. It's exhausted. It's gapping up again. When are we going to have this red day? Is it going to be able to hold this level? So instantly, I always keep, the way I like to do it is I like to, usually when I'm trading, I'll have, a couple charts up here, then I have another screen, a 232-inch screens. I got a screen here, then I got another screen right here. And I'll have a bunch of charts up, and I can have, charts up right here. So I'll have a chart up of SPY in the futures and see what they're doing. So instantly, when the market opened, I saw that first thing I noticed is all in the same time, SPY. So the first thing I noticed was SPY started selling off. Obviously I have all these charts up at one time. I have a couple screens. So as soon as I saw SPY selling off, SPY was looking weak. It instantly started selling off. Futures started selling off, but my main focus was obviously Nvidia. So usually my favorite chart is a 5-minute chart, but when I'm looking for something that's going to start selling off hard to get a good entry, I will switch to a 1-minute chart. So what happened is I knew that this thing was probably going to touch back down to the 110 area. So I figured it was going to probably come back down to the 110 area. So as soon as I saw it start selling off, it kind of had this green candle. It popped up, and it hit the highs up here of the pre-market. It just couldn't hold it though. As soon as it hit the highs up here in the pre-market, and I actually had this level lined off with the price level. So as soon as it hit this level, it just couldn't hold it. It instantly hit it, and it instantly started selling back off. So as soon as it started selling off, and it went under this VWAP, that's whenever I got in. I got in around right here on, I think, this candle or this candle. And if you look, I usually have, what I have up is this right here. I'll have like a 2-minute chart here, and then maybe a 1-minute chart here, and then sometimes I'll even have a 5-minute chart up here to be able to get my entry. So when I was looking at all the different charts, you'll notice like the 5-minute, it was selling off. I mean, obviously they were all selling off, but it was a perfect entry, as you can see. It was just as soon as it broke this support right here at the bottom of the pre-market, I knew it was going to be a weak day. I saw that the SPY was selling off. I saw that the futures were selling off, so it was pretty much a dead giveaway. Why is this not doing this? 1 second. Okay, so as soon as I saw that the futures in the SPY was selling off, I knew that we were probably going to have a weak day, you know, and I knew that this was going to be a good time to get in. So instantly, I figured it was going to. I was pretty sure it was going to touch back down to the 110 area, and that was my target. My target was the 110 area. So the first thing I did was, you know, I got 2 screens, so I'll have my option chain up on the other screen, but I played the weeklies, obviously. Y'all know I like the weeklies. So the stock was, you know, when I got in was at 118, and I figured it was going to go to the 110, so I played the 115 puts. You know, I was thought about playing the 112 puts, but I didn't know if it would quite make it there to the 110s, and I didn't want to, you know, I wanted to be able to get into the money. So I went, and I was pretty confident it was going to make it into the money if I played the 115 put. So that's what I did. I played the 115 puts. Okay, you come right here. 115 puts. Yeah, these are what I played right here. And we'll look at a chart on those. So here's what it did today. Here's what they did today right here. The 115 puts. They went from, and so I got in on the 1 minute chart. So let's see. So I got in about right on this third candle as it started to, you know, on the, you know, about on the 3rd minute onto the stock. So I would say I got in about right here. So I got in about, you know, I think I got in at the beginning of the 3rd candle, which I kind of got in late because what I should have did was get in back here when I could have, you know, I should have got in as soon as I saw it started selling off, but I kind of waited for about 3-4 minutes before I got in, and that doesn't sound like a lot, but I paid double. You know, these options move fast, guys. It's not like the stock where you wait a couple minutes and it goes up 10 cents. No, this thing went from 47 cents to whenever I paid for it around 80 cents. So I paid double. You know, I paid up 100%. That is a lot. You know, I could have got it for half the price if I would have just got it a couple of minutes earlier, but I didn't. So I paid around 80 cents for it, and as you can see, it, you know, I held it all the way when it got to 110, and you know, it got to 110, and once it hit 110, I got out because, you know, I saw it was starting to get down to 109 and started coming back up, so I got out around the 110 area. You know, and I think I ended up selling mine for around I want to say $5. So yeah, so I think I let it hit and then it started coming back up. So yeah, I want to say I sold it for $5. So, you know, around a 400% 400% gain. You know, I paid $1, sold it for $5. It's about 400%. And just look at all this action. Look at that. I mean, when you see a stock that has candles like this, that is a lot of buying and selling and a lot of activity in these options. As you can see, they kind of cleared out through the day. Not as much buying and selling, but it's just so much action right here. People were waiting on this. So many people were playing these puts and driving the price down. I mean, everybody was waiting on this trade, and it was a perfect trade. I mean, it couldn't have got any perfect. So that's what you kind of got to be prepared for these days, guys. You know, I didn't know. It's not that I knew that. I didn't know that Nvidia was going to sell off today. I had an idea, you know, but what you have to do is you have to make sure you keep an eye on the SPY, keep an eye on the futures, you know, and try. I encourage everybody to get more than. I know some of y'all are trading off of laptops and stuff, and hey, that's okay. Everybody has to start somewhere, but try to invest in getting you a extra monitor. You know, you can get them even if you get one from the pawn shop or Craigslist for $20, $30, a little you know, a 20-inch or whatever it is. You just need to have more than one monitor. That way you can have a few screens up. You know, I like to have a bunch of screens up at once. So I'm looking at Nvidia here, SPY, ES. You know, I have another screen. I can have all those up. Then I can click here for my main. You know, I can have 2 charts up and then 2 charts up of another. So you know, I have plenty of options, and that allows me to be able to look at the SPY. Allows me to be able to look at the ES at the same time. You know, I know a lot of people. You know, I make these videos mainly for everybody in the small cap millionaire chat room, and I know a lot of y'all are new traders. So, you know, I just want to try to help y'all out. You know, I think it's a very good idea, and I know Sal said this before. Try to get more than one monitor. You know, I know everybody has. You have to start off somewhere, so don't be overwhelmed if you don't have the money to get it. You don't have to have it right now, but in the future, you do want to try to get more than one monitor. It's very important, but you can get to that later. But yeah, so I saw everything selling out. That's the only play I made today. Obviously, everything else sold off in the market today. I mean, you can pretty much go to, and I'll make this bigger for y'all. You could pretty much go to, you know, anything in the market today, and it's sold off. I mean, Amazon. Oh yeah. So also, AMD has been on a crazy run. Look what it did. Sold off, you know. Big red day. Big red day. So typically, guys, when you see a big red day like this, typically you might see like an absorption day is what they'll call it, to where it'll just, you know, kind of big red day like this, you know, you see, or like this, big red day, and just really not do much, just absorb, you know, let everybody just kind of, you know, letting this big day soak in. It's kind of absorbing it more of, they call it an inside day too, kind of like this big red day, kind of, you know, not too much happening, you know. So that's probably what we'll see, and it's possible we could see another big red day. Now, as far as in the SPY, I'm not sure what will happen, or in these individual stocks, but y'all just be looking. If you see that the market is weak in the SPY and the futures, if the futures and the SPY are selling off, then it's a good bet that a lot of these bigger, see, that's the thing, like small cap stocks, they run independent of the market. But these bigger stocks, you have to keep a lookout. You have to keep a look on the SPY and what the futures are doing, you know, because these bigger stocks are going to run parallel with the market, you know. You know, you see everything, the market's selling off, then these are going to sell off. If the market's running, these are going to run. You know, it's not always hand in hand, but yes, it usually does. They usually run toe-to-toe with the market. So you definitely, guys, y'all need to keep an eye on the SPY. Some people like to look at the Dow, the DJI, Dow Jones Industrial. I like to use the SPY and the ES futures. You can use what you want. I suggest use the SPY. I like it a little. I think it's a little more accurate. Just what I like to use. But it's all personal preference. I just wanted to do a video on that, guys. I thought it was something, you know, I thought it was a perfect setup. Watching Nvidia today, I just wanted to kind of give y'all my take on what I did, and kind of what made me get into the trade, and why I took the trade. You know, if I would have saw Nvidia started running today, and it's, you know, I'm big on watching the time and sales, the tape and the level 2, and I would have seen the buyers I needed, then I would have went long. But, you know, it's all about keeping an eye on SPY, keeping an eye on the futures. Usually if they're selling off, the market's selling off. Everything was selling off this morning, so it was a perfect, you know, with this gapping up as much as it was, you know, I had a feeling that this is it. This is going to be the big red day. I said it in the chat room. I said, you know, once we get a red day, it's going to be big. So that's all I wanted to do, guys. I just wanted to kind of go over that. One more time, like I said, the SPY, it either has to hold this level, or we're probably going to see it come back down to this 221 level, 222 level, call it 222. If it could hold this level, we might see it consolidating here for a little bit, you know, and maybe might see it consolidating here a little bit, and kind of, you know, do this for a little while, and, you know, as long as it can hold this level, though, then we'll be good. Then maybe we can see it break out of this top range again. But that's what it's going to have to do. It's going to have to stay. It's going to probably have to hold this. If not, we'll probably eventually see it kind of. If we have another red day today and it can't hold this, it's probably going to come back down and touch this level very shortly. So that's it, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Make sure y'all subscribe and like the channel. If y'all have any ideas on anything y'all want me to do a video on, I can do it. I know a lot of people are telling me they want me to do a video on me doing some live trading, which I will try to get to that, guys. It's very hard because a lot of times I have to be ready, and today probably would have been a day, but a lot of times, I'm not just going to have it recording if I'm not in a trade, and then sometimes I'll forget, like today would have probably been a good day with the Nvidia trade, but obviously I didn't remember, so it's kind of hard to get these trades. They kind of happen very, out of nowhere, and by the time I'm in them and I'm concentrating, and the next thing you know, I realize I forgot. So if y'all have any, I'll try to get some live trades up, and if y'all have any thing else, I know people said they wanted me to do a video on the Greeks. I'll try to get to that too. Alright, guys, y'all have a good day, and I'm out. Peace.